Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're going to review for the math test that you're going to take tomorrow. Hopefully you've already watched the practice test tutorial that is located above this link in your Canvas calendar. It will help you get used to the format of Wiser Me, which is the format you're going to be taking your math tests on. All right, so now let's look at some of the questions that you have already seen on the Wiser Me tutorial. However, they did not give you the answers. So let's go over the answers to these problems. All right, so let me get my camera situated so we can get a nice view of this worksheet. And here we go. Expressions practice test. Let me just focus it a little bit more. There we go. In question number 1, write 1/3 to the third power as a product of the same factor, then find the value. Well, it will be 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. And the value is 1/27, because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Make sure you get that right. This one says write 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 using an exponent. 5 to the 4th power. And that's all you have to do. You do not have to give the value of what 5 to the 4th power is. Now in problem number 3, we have to simplify the expression. So here we are going to combine our like terms. The like terms here, 4x and 9x. We can combine that. That will give you a 13x. And what do you have left? Minus 2y. That's the answer you're going to put on the blank. All right? In number 4, you're going to use the distributive property. 5 times 4y, 5 times 8z. 5 times 4y, 20y. 5 times 8z, 40z. So when this one is simplified, 20y plus 40z. Now in question number 5, 2x plus 10x, put a 1 in front of the x, plus 1x. They are all the same. These are like terms. So the answer to this one, 13x. All right, now let's go to problem number 6. In number 6, let's identify our like terms. I'm going to highlight my x's in yellow. That's a minus x. I'm going to put a 1 in front of it so I remember. That's a minus 1x. I'm going to circle my y terms in blue, plus 5y, minus 3y. And my constants, these are terms that do not have a variable with them. I'm going to put in red triangles. Okay, now I can combine them. 3x minus 1x will give me a 2x. 5y minus 3y equals 2y. And a 3 plus a 4, 7. So the answer, 2x plus 2y plus 7. All right. That's how you simplify expressions. Now let's go on, and the next 4 problems you're going to follow the rules of PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, or divide, multiply, add and subtract, or it could be subtract, add. Okay, let's go on now and look at question number 7. Parentheses, yes, we have them. So you're going to do that first. 8 plus 1 will give you the sum of 9. Now you have 9 times 12 minus 13. The next thing you're going to do is 9 times 12. 9 times 12, 108. Then you end up with 108 minus 13 will give you the difference of 95. So the answer to this one, 95. Okay, in problem number 8, no parentheses, but yes, we have exponents. 4 to the third power, 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. So write down 64 minus 24 divided by 8. We took care of our exponents. Now we have to do multiplication and division next. Well, that means you're going to do 24 divided by 8 next. 24 divided by 8, 3. 64 minus 3 will give you the difference of 61. Let's look at question number 9. In question number 9, no parentheses, no exponents. We have division first, and we have multiplication. So let's do the division first. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. There's a plus sign now in between. You just add those together, and the sum will be 32. If I am ever going too fast for you on these problems, please feel free to pause and then rejoin. Or if you want to do the problem first, do the problem, and then you can unpause me to see if you get the same answer. If not, you'll know what you did wrong. Number 10, no parentheses, no exponents, but I do have a multiplication problem there. 5 times 16, 80. So you have 88 minus 80 plus 2 minus 3. Now, kids, we have no more multiplication or division, so then we do addition and subtraction, or subtraction and addition if subtraction comes first, which that's the case. The subtraction comes first. 88 minus 80 is 8. 8 plus 2 minus 3. 8 plus 2 is 10, and 10 minus 3 will give you the answer of 7. All right, so that's how you're going to do the first 10 problems on tomorrow's test. It's going to be similar, but the numbers and digits will be different. Now let's go to the next page. On this page, what you're going to do is substitute the value of the variable. Here, A equals 3, B is 2/3, and C is 6. So, 2 times 3 minus 5. That is not 23, it's 2 times 3, which is 6. Minus 5 gives you the answer 1. 2 times C. 2 times 6 plus 3 times 2/3. All right. Gently pick the 3 up and put a 1 underneath it, so it'll be ready for multiplying. So, 2 times 6 is 12. Now, we're multiplying. You can cancel the 3 goes into 3, 3 goes into 3. You end up with 2 over 1, which equals 2. So 12 plus 2 will give you the sum of 14. Now let's go on to number 13. B to the second power. So that's 2/3 to the second power plus 3 times 3 times 6. Okay, I'm using a dot to represent multiplication in this problem. The first thing you're going to do is 2/3 to the second power. 2/3 times 2/3 will give you the product of 4/9. 4/9 plus. The next thing you're going to do is 3 times 3 is 9 times 6. Now, the next thing you're going to do is multiply 9 times 6, and that is 54. So 4/9 plus 54 gives you the sum of 54 and 4/9. All right. Now we are going to go to the word problems where you're translating words into an expression. So we're going to write expressions here on this next group. 16 seconds slower than. Slower than is the same thing like the words less than. And whenever you have the word than, you're going to stop. What's in front goes behind, and what's behind will go in front. So slower than is the less than symbol. Okay, you put the 16 here, and Ryan's time will be, you can use any variable. I'm going to use R is less than 16. But when we're writing an expression, we're not going to use the less than symbol. That's the same thing as a subtraction. R minus 16. So when we're writing an expression, don't do that, even though the less than symbol looks like that. When you see the words less than for expressions, you put a subtraction sign. So R minus 16. It cannot be 16 minus R. Now let's go on to number 15. 5 points less than. There's the than word. I'm going to stop. Less than means it's going to be a subtraction sign. Put the 5 behind it. Now I have to write 3 times the number of points. Okay, n is going to equal points. So I'm going to have 3n minus 5 because this will go there. The answer, 3n minus 5. In number 16, this one's an easy one. 1/4 of Roger's height. I'm going to say x represents the height. Now it didn't say you had to define your variable, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that in these problems. 1/4 of, you all know, means to multiply, h. Or you could just write it as 1/4h. I would count both of these correct, both ways of writing it. Oh, another than word. 6 feet less, which means a subtraction sign. Put the 6 behind it. 3 times the width. W will represent width. Okay, so 6 feet less than 3 times the width. 3W minus 6. Okay, now the distributive property, you're all really good at doing this. So let's practice the distributive property. That'll be 4 times x plus 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So it's 4x plus 4 times 5, and that gives us 4x plus 20. In number 19, 3 times 2v plus 3 times 4. 3 times 2v plus 3 times 4. That will give you 6v plus 12. 6v plus 12. And in number 20, 5 times b plus 5 times 2.5. So you'll have 5b plus, carry a 2, 12.5. So 5b plus 12.5. You cannot combine the 12.5 and the 5 because it does not have a b behind it. Now, there will be 5 more questions left to do on the test, so let's do the last group here. And let's look at question number 21. It'll be similar to this. Factor. Oh, you are good at factoring. You pull it out. It's going to look like this. We're going to change it to like the distributive property. What will divide a 25 and a 35? 5 will. So you pull the 5 out. 5 times 5x equals 25x, and 5 times 7y equals 35y. So it's 5 times 5x plus 7y. Now let's look at number 22. Factor, set it up. Kids, if you have problems doing these, if you at least set it up like this, I'll give you a point. You'll get at least partial credit. Now, what will divide a 9 and a 36? 9 will divide them. 9 times 1 is 9, or so it's 1x, because you want to end up with an x. And 9 times 4 is 36, and we want a 36y, so it's 4y. 9 times x plus 4y. You could put a 1x in front of it. Okay, a theater charges $7.50 for adults and $5 for children. Write an expression to show the total cost of buying 4 adult tickets and 3 children's tickets. All right, so you're going to take 4 times $7.50 plus 3 times 5. Now that's your expression. If they ask for you to solve it, then you would go ahead and solve it. But in this part, it only says to write an expression. I think on the test they also have you solve it. So let's go ahead and solve it. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Put down a 0, carry a 2. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 2 is $30. Plus 15. And the answer, $45. All right? So the expression will look like that. Now, in the last group, you just have to identify your properties. Determine whether the two expressions are equivalent. So you're going to write yes or no. If so, tell what property is applied. If not, explain why. Okay, 8, 2, 5, 8, 2, 5. They're in the same order. The parentheses move, but wait a minute. It is not the associative property because on this side you are adding and on this side you are multiplying. So they do not equal. The answer is no. Explanation, not associative because the left side multiply or adding, right side they are multiplying. You could also say that 15 does not equal 80. All right, you could also state that instead of writing what I have here. This one, does 13 times 1 equal 13? Yes, and that's the identity property. And this is actually the identity property of multiplication. Okay, if you had 13 plus 0 equals 13, that's the identity property of addition. Okay, this one, the answer is no, because the associative property is not true for division. Okay, kids, these are the types of questions you're going to see on your test tomorrow. Good luck. I'm sure you will do fine. If you have watched this video, you'll do fine on the test. Have a good day.